Deep in Honduras lies a stretch of the Mosquitia jungle so hostile that locals simply call it the Green Hell. It is a triple canopy abyss where venomous snakes and disease have swallowed explorers whole for 5 centuries. Hidden within this impenetrable vegetation is the subject of a legend. It is known as La Ciudad Blanca, the White City, or as the indigenous tribes know it, the City of the Monkey God. This sprawling metropolis sits completely outside our standard historical maps. The architects behind these plazas and stone ramparts were a branch of pre-Columbian humanity entirely distinct from the Maya or the Aztecs. Tribal folklore describes the ruins as a sanctuary guarded by a bloodthirsty, half-human, half-simian deity. The warning is clear. A lethal curse strikes down anyone who enters, claiming them as another bone in the jungle floor. This presents a massive investigative challenge. How does an advanced civilization vanish into the jungle without a trace, leaving behind only the memory of a guardian spirit? The paper trail begins here. In 1526, Hernán Cortés wrote to Spain of grand, wealthy cities hidden in the east. These accounts of gold sparked doomed expeditions. Generations of conquistadors disappeared into this uncharted territory, searching for a paradise that refused to be found. But the people who live in the Mosquitia today have their own records. Pech and Tawaka elders speak of Cajaca Camasa, a sacred refuge built by their ancestors to keep their traditions alive. Pech elders explain that the city's isolation was a calculated choice. After a shaman saw a vision of white-skinned invaders coming from the sea, the inhabitants buried their stone treasures and retreated into the canyons overnight. They didn't lose their city, they systematically concealed it. By weaponizing the jungle's natural dangers, they turned the Green Hell into a permanent shield against the Spanish. In 1939, an American explorer named Theodore Morde claimed to have finally located the ruins. He emerged from the jungle with artifacts and a terrifying description of what he'd seen. Morde described a giant monkey god statue looming over a sacrificial stone stairway, a site where blood was once offered to the earth to ensure the harvest. He possessed tangible proof in his photographs, but he absolutely refused to reveal the coordinates. He feared a gold rush would destroy the site before he could return to study it. Shortly after announcing a return expedition, Morde was found dead in his home, an apparent suicide. To many, this was the first strike of the monkey god's curse. Morde took the location to his grave, effectively resetting the mystery. For the next 70 years, the jungle maintained its reputation. It would kill anyone who tried to map its secrets. Following Morde's death, the stalemate continued. Machetes and ground teams were consistently defeated by malaria, fer-de-lance vipers, and the sheer impossibility of the terrain. The breakthrough required us to stop fighting the jungle on the ground. Modern researchers shifted to aerial surveillance, using airborne LiDAR to strip away the trees from the sky. The system fires millions of laser pulses through tiny gaps in the leaves. By measuring the time it takes for those pulses to bounce back, we can build a high-resolution digital model of the solid ground hidden beneath the canopy. This LiDAR map provides the proof. These clear, geometric outlines and right angles show a sprawling metropolis exactly where the legend said it would be. The terrifying folklore of the monkey god shielded a verified archaeological reality. For 500 years, the Honduran Mosquitia remained a blank space on archaeological maps. While explorers spoke of a legendary white city hidden within the brush, the region's extreme isolation kept those stories confined to the realm of myth. This riverboat footage illustrates why ground-level exploration failed for centuries. The jungle is a chaotic, physical wall. At this level of density, a team could hack their way within 20 feet of a massive stone pyramid and never realized it was there. Mapping this territory required a total departure from traditional methods. Finding the city meant moving the search away from the forest floor and into the hands of aerospace engineers. Modern research stations began processing massive streams of terrain data to find what the human eye could not. In this visualization, the canopy is digitally stripped away, removing the biological clutter to reveal the bare earth beneath. By abandoning human sight in favor of high-resolution digital scans, researchers finally bypassed the jungle's natural camouflage to look for the sharp, geometric signatures of an ancient civilization. In 2012, an aerial expedition led by filmmaker Steve Elkins transitioned the search into the sky, mapping the entire valley from a fixed-wing aircraft. They utilized this LiDAR sensor, which fired billions of laser pulses per second at the forest below. While the leaves blocked most of the light, enough pulses slipped through the gaps to bounce off the ground and return to the aircraft, creating a precise 3D map of the surface. When the computers processed the raw data, a sprawling architectural complex emerged. The scan revealed perfect right angles, massive terraces, and a series of man-made earthen pyramids hidden directly under the trees. This data provided the first measurable proof that the White City existed. It was no longer a legend, it was a physical reality hiding in plain sight. To validate these digital findings, a ground expedition, including SAS soldiers and National Geographic researchers, navigated to the exact LiDAR coordinates in 2015. At the base of an earthen pyramid, they discovered a cache of 52 stone sculptures. These artifacts had remained completely undisturbed since the city was abandoned centuries ago. This snarling stone jaguar head confirmed that the site belonged to a distinct, non-Mayan culture. It provided the human context necessary to anchor the cold LiDAR data to a real, advanced society with its own unique artistic traditions. Touching these physical stones confirmed that the geometric anomalies seen from the air were the ceremonial heart of a major regional power. But the site was protected by more than just distance. Upon their return to civilization, nearly half of the 2015 expedition members fell victim to a horrific illness. The team had contracted leishmaniasis, a parasitic disease carried by native sandflies that inhabit the Mosquitia's Biense River valleys. This microscopic view shows the parasite responsible for the infection. It aggressively consumes human tissue and requires months of intensive chemotherapy to treat. If left unchecked, it can effectively dissolve the face. This biological threat likely served as the true source of the monkey god's curse. It functioned as a highly effective, naturally evolved defense system that repelled intruders for 500 years. The city remained lost not because of the jungle's height, but because of this microscopic barrier that guarded its borders. Archaeologists now view this discovery as a significant expansion of the known history of Central America. It proves that a massive, high-density society thrived in a region previously dismissed as a cultural void. The investigation is currently scaling upward. As of 2026, new satellite sensors are scanning the surrounding valleys far beyond the initial site. The incoming data reveals that the White City was a single hub within a sprawling, interconnected urban network. Glowing lines of infrastructure now emerge on the map, linking dozens of nodes across the entire region. This forgotten empire integrated thousands of individual structures into the landscape. The sheer density of these ruins confirms a massive regional civilization that rivaled the better-known kingdoms of the ancient world. By combining microscopic biological data with orbital satellite mapping, we have done more than find a ruin. We have resurrected an entirely lost chapter